This is the Creative Commons website. This is where you'll generate your license for your work. You're going to click on Share Your Work. Now you can scroll down and read about how the licenses work, or you can simply get to choose a license and get started. This is what the current license selector looks like. You're going to be asked just a couple of simple questions. Will you allow adaptations of your work to be shared? Yes or no, or yes as long as others share alike. And will you allow commercial uses of your work? Yes or no. And you'll notice that every time I click on a button here, I get a change up here, which shows me the information about the license with an icon. And I get an icon generated that I can put on a web page or on my digital book that represents these things. And within this box, if I click on the blue text that describes the license, I'll go to a new page, and that will tell me everything about the license I need to know. What the person who holds the license is able to do with it, share and adapt, and what are the rules of the terms that they can do that under. With this license, this is the CC BY attribution license, that the people who adapt your work have to give you the appropriate credit and indicate whether they made changes or not. Now, by the time you use this, there may be a different chooser on the website. This is a beta version they're looking at using, and this just breaks down the choices you're going to make into simpler, straight-up decisions one by one. So it'll be, I need help selecting the license. Yes, I would like credit. Yes or no, other can use my work for commercial purposes. Yes, I want people to be able to adapt my work. Yes, they can go ahead and share my license under any terms or only under the same terms that I gave for mine. And finally, we'll write in the credit, the attribution that goes with the license. Both Global Digital Library and World Around You require that you have a Creative Commons license for the material you upload to their websites. Global Digital Library prefers works to be submitted with the CC BY or CC BY SA license. This is with attribution or with attribution, and the new work must be shared alike under the same terms as the old one. Global Digital Library will accept material under other creative licenses as well. World Around You requires that your work be submitted with the CC BY or CC BY SA license only. Other licenses would prevent users in other countries from adding their languages to your story, and being able to provide stories in as many signed and textual languages as possible is one of the main goals of World Around You, and without those licenses we can't meet our goals. In most countries of the world, once a story has been put into a fixed form, written, printed, filmed, or video recorded, it has been copyrighted by the creator. The same is true for any other kind of creative expression: drawings, paintings, music, poems, etc. In legal terms, these creative expressions are called intellectual property, or IP for short. No one else may add to, share, or sell this IP unless they get the permission of the copyright holder to do so. The only exception to this is if the creator gives up their rights and formally places their work in the public domain, saying that anyone can do anything with it that they want to. The permission to use copyrighted IP is called a license. A license is essentially a contract that explains what the license holder can and cannot do with the IP. If you don't have a license to use a particular piece of copyrighted IP, you might get a legal letter telling you to stop using it or you will be sued. In making these digital storybooks for the deaf, there are 3 basic categories of stories you might choose. The first is a story and/or art from a published book. To be able to do this, you would need to contact the book's publisher and get a license to use it. There would probably be a fee you had to pay for the license. Sometimes a publisher will be willing to allow use for a nonprofit educational project without a fee, but that is rare, so we don't really recommend this option. You will know if a story, movie, or piece of art is copyrighted because it will have a notice on it that says, "Copyright," with a copyright symbol, which is a C inside of a circle. The year it was copyrighted, the name of the company or person that holds the copyright, and the phrase, "All rights reserved." Your second choice is to use a story that is in the public domain or is old enough that its copyright has run out. Folk tales and traditional tales can be a good source of these, but you will still need to make sure that the version of the story and art you use for a published folk tale is in the public domain. Make sure the version you find in a book or on the internet has not been copyrighted. For example, the old folk story of Snow White is in the public domain, but you cannot use the script from the Disney film or the art from the film because those are copyrighted, and a license to use those would be very, very expensive. Using public domain stories can be a good choice as long as you follow the advice above. Your third choice is that you can use an original story and art created for this project. In that case, you and your team hold the copyright and you can do whatever you want with it. This is always the best choice. Once you have finished writing and making the digital storybook and you are ready to put it online, you must first license it to allow others to use it and/or modify it. This is very easy to do. You will use the Creative Commons website to get the license for your work. It allows you to use a simple form to automatically generate a license describing the permissions that you will give to others who will use your work.